Oh, yeah. Five-star. LSU. I said, they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This is the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up, hey. 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 Way down in the back.
TA, we are live. Welcome to the Tigers Avenue Show, Thursday edition. Got to do a little recap of a blowout. Is what we got to recap. This past Tuesday was a fun watch. I'll say that much. For a couple innings, it was a fun watch. Then it was like,
yeah.
it was like, all right.
After that, it was like, all right, what else?
5-inning run rule. Can there be like a?
Yeah.
Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad. I wouldn't be against like, hey, if you have a 15-run lead by the fifth, let's call it. Honestly, wouldn't be against that. Wouldn't be against that. Instead of just the 10-run seventh inning, you got 15-run fifth inning. Call it.
Yeah.
Ryan here. What up, Passa, Reagan, and Brother Zach? Tell me something good. We're going to tell you something good. We got some good stuff to talk about. Song hits on my Bluetooth speaker under my patio. Hey, look. Awesome. Hey, we making it to the patio, Zach. We've made it.
We made it to a wireless Bluetooth speaker, baby.
on the patio. We made it. Appreciate you being in here, as always. And all of you who are watching, again, just a reminder, we love your interaction. Ryan is one of our good ones who faithfully comes in here and comments and gives his thoughts. Exactly, Ryan. 15-run rule sound exactly. You got a 15 runs in fifth inning
after 5. Yeah, that's not. I would agree. That's pretty good.
I mean, Zach, it was 17-0 in the third inning.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to it here in a minute, but we'll talk about that because there's some things I definitely want to talk about that I think are kind of like, okay, things feel like they're kind of set in stone, at least for the time being, especially going into, SEC play. We'll give you a preview of SEC play this weekend beginning. And, man, Zach, there's some good matchups that I'm going to watch.
Yeah,
I mean,
there really is.
Tennessee and Florida off the jump. Yeah. I'm tuning in. Ole Miss,
Arkansas. Yep.
I'm tuning in. SEC baseball is here. It's like when baseball season starts, I'm only watching LSU, right? Because who cares about Alabama playing, Alabama A&M, right? Like, who cares? Or Kennesaw State and Georgia. But, man, when the SEC play hits, I mean, you're talking about Tennessee, Florida, you're watching guys. Okay,
yeah, you can click on over to another game. Yeah.
That's right. Like, you start seeing who's legit, who's not. Now, there is another few games I have been watching before conference play. Any game that I saw that Texas A&M was close or losing in, I turned it on. Just my personal enjoyment. Zach, I don't know if you have picked up or not. Not a fan of Texas A&M. Just not.
I'm with you, bud. Don't worry about it.
So, I hate that Tennessee won the national championship this past year, but I think I would rather have Tennessee won the national championship than Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I don't need Texas A&M to have any kind of fuel. Tennessee already has some clout. Like, they have some football championships, and they've got a great basketball program. And, Tennessee's a great athletic program. So for them to get a dub in the championship, I get it.
Well, that brings up a good question, Reagan. Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Least favorite team: football, basketball, baseball. Basketball, Auburn. It's not because they're number one in the country this year. Like, this has been an ongoing thing.
They have that mentality about them.
Yeah, and Auburn and basketball, and that's been for years. That's not just because they're number one this year. That's been something for years that I've just like despised Auburn.
Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, it's Bruce Pearl. In baseball or in football, it's Ole Miss.
It's Ole Miss for me right
It's
now,
Ole
for
Miss.
sure.
And then in baseball, yeah, it's A&M.
Yeah. Although
A&M / Tennessee.
right now in football, A&M and Ole Miss are close for me right now. I despise Ole Miss though. It's definitely Ole Miss for me, but
yeah,
A&M is eking close.
A&M and Ole Miss in any sport, really.
Some of the most unlikable fan bases of all time.
Anyways, LSU dominates Xavier.
They did. So we'll give you the recap on that. We'll kind of go to the details of that. A little bit inning by inning, pitchers. I think there's some things we need to talk about pitchers with there. Then we'll give you a weekend preview because this is SEC play, and I don't care what Missouri's record is. There's some things that kind of I'm like, okay, this is going to be challenging. And then we'll give you a little tell me TA, and we're going to discuss a couple things in tell me TA as well. But we want to hear from y'all. Give your questions in that segment. We're going to talk about a couple things like basketball and some
spring football
as well as that gets rolling.
Send in hashtag tell me TA for your question.
Hashtag tell me TA. Shoot it in there. Go ahead and put it in there.
We'll start
like now. Yeah. So that we can flag it and we can come back to it. Okay. So don't think
if you're on X,
forgotten about
Twitter,
your comment. Okay.
Go over to Facebook, go over to YouTube, send a comment in. We'd love to get to it.
Oh no. So the Twitter, like the other day, Jesse's was coming through on Twitter.
That is true, actually. So maybe we just need the folks on Twitter / X to just send their comments in. And they step it up. Yeah.
Right. So go ahead, start sending your tell me TAs in so we can flag them. You go ahead and send them now. Don't worry about it. We will flag it. We will get to it. Okay. There's a way that we can highlight comments. So don't think we're gonna, because you put it in there now, it's gonna be lost and forgotten in the sea of comments. So with that being said, I hope there's a sea of comments. With that being said, Zach, midweek, it was dominant. LSU beats Xavier 18-4. In what was a really, really booming offensive day in the first 3 innings, you put this game to bed very quickly. It felt over after the first inning. It did. I mean, you literally brought the entire lineup to bat in the first inning, Zach, and Curiel batted twice.
You started with 4 hits. Four straight hits.
You got Curiel doubled, Jones homer, Dickinson homer, Josh Pearson, single,
and then Milam
walked. And then I believe, was it
Brown
singled, and then Luis hit into a double play. Tanner Reeves, gonna have to talk about him. He doubled. And then Stanfield drove him in with a single. Curiel came back up to bat, hit another double, tried to stretch it to third. It was a very close play at third. Ultimately, he was out and even said, "Hey, I'm out." But man, it was a bang bang play. I think any other time that's a triple. I think about 9 times out of 10 he probably gets there because it was very, very close. I thought he was there easily. But credit them. They made a great play. Shortstop made a great throw on the relay, and they got him. Either way, it was another double, 2 doubles in the inning for Curiel. He is phenomenal, Zach. He is every superlative that we could think of. He is it. Curiel is. Jared Jones is seeing the baseball like it's a beach ball. Like he's hitting everything very, very hard.
Not hitting, he's walking.
And getting walked. And Dickinson continues to be amazing. Josh Pearson
Milam
continues to hit. Milam walked 3 times.
Three in a row.
The plate patience is amazing. Yeah. Jake Brown was 3 for 3. Curiel was 3 for 3.
Pearson, I think, was 3 for 3 or 2
Pearson was 3 for 3. And then Zach, I mean, I think this is the biggest takeaway. You know, those are the guys who have gone, okay, it's been happening. Like they are the guys. But Tanner Reeves is the guy you go, okay, the guy's crushing the ball. He's finding his place. He's crushing the ball. He's got a hold on it right now at third base. We'll see how. Again, you're entering conference play. Will it continue? There is always going to be dips. There's always going to be There's going to be, as we are sitting here right now. I hope I'm wrong. Praise the Lord if I am wrong. But there's going to be some guy, right, who's going to take a dip. Who's going to that average is going to come down. It's far better competition. It's a lot more competitive.
If not all of them, a little bit.
That's right. But thankfully, you have a lot of guys who could fill spots. Braswell, Fry, John Pearson, Ashton Larson. You got lots of guys. You got lots of options to come in behind. So, but right now, look, Zach, Tanner Reeves, he's your third baseman. Not only did he double to keep that inning alive, again, two out hits. Two out hits. He doubled with 2 outs. Stanfield singled, brings him in. Curiel doubled off the wall, right? All with 2 outs.
Yeah.
In the next inning, you scored 3. You scored 2 of them with 2 outs, Zach.
Yep.
Luis, even though he hit into the double play in the first inning, in the second inning with 2 outs, runners on second and third. I think it was Milam and Brown on second and third. Luis Hernandez comes up with a base hit and drives in 2 more runs with 2 outs. And then in the third inning with 2 outs, Tanner Reeves, after I think it was it kind of got really bad for them. They walked the bases loaded, hit a guy, which
they walked 2 in.
They walked 2 in, and then of course he came up.
Luis struck out.
Yeah, and yes, that's
Tanner,
correct. And then Tanner Reeves come up and line shot into the diamond deck, right field home run. Second grand slam of the season for the Tigers. Second home run for the season for Tanner Reeves. And Zach, right now, he's your third baseman.
Yeah.
He is your third baseman. Zach, that's kind of pretty much offensively all that happened. That was 17 runs. You spat on them for 3 innings. Just absolute dominance.
4 innings.
Yeah, you scored again in the fourth to make it 18.
Scored again in the fourth. Yeah.
And Zach,
and then everybody came out.
And then that's what I'm saying. 15 run rule, 5 innings. Maybe we need to look at that. But anyways, a lot of coaches won't be up for that though, because even with the 7, they want to get their scrubs in and get them reps. Zach, what about pitching? Obviously Schmidt got the start.
I mean, Schmidt was the most impressive for sure. Looked really good. And a lot of people were wondering, well, why didn't they run him a little bit longer? Because you have this weekend coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's become very evident that William Schmidt is going to be a guy that you rely on in the weekend. He's going to be a reliever that comes in and you expect to have extended relief. And if somebody falters, maybe potentially down the road comes into the rotation. So, he's next man up outside of the rotation. Yep. So that's why he only pitched one inning, give him a little bullpen day action with live hitting and, another opponent other than yourself. So, he comes in, throws a phenomenal first inning. Jaden Newt comes in, struggles a little bit, but Jaden Newt was able to work around everything.
Yep.
So, struggled a little bit with command, but was able to work around things. And then Connor Ware came in, and, you were really hoping that Connor Ware would have kind of a get back right game. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen. There was a little bit of, there was still a little bit of, some defensive errors, just miscues that didn't help him out. Seems like that's kind of been, it seemed like that's kind of been a thing, like the last couple of times he's gone out, just the defense hasn't really helped him out a whole lot. But just struggling again with command, leaving balls up in the zone, and they're getting squared up. So didn't disappointing to see Connor Ware's outing, but I still think he's going to be a guy that LSU relies on in the weekends here in the SEC. I mean, you got to have a really, really good left-handed option out of the bullpen, and right now, you got to find somebody because you know Connor Ware's been inconsistent, Cooper Williams been inconsistent, DJ Primo's been inconsistent. So I mean, who else? Who are the other? I mean, obviously Kate Anderson. That's
those are your three main guys.
That's it, pretty much. Yeah. So
out of the pen.
Yep. So you got to have one or at least one of those guys that can come along a little bit and be more consistent. So that's a concern right now is the left-handed pitching. Somebody that you trust in, I should say.
Because you're gonna need a matchup eventually.
Yeah, you're gonna have to match up eventually. And then I'm trying to think, Reagan, who came in after Ware?
I think it was Kaysen.
Kaysen Evans. Yeah, that's right. Kaysen came in. Now, Kaysen did struggle. You know, I don't know really if you need to be concerned about that a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a let's get out of this game. So I'm gonna just make sure I'm throwing in the zone.
Put the ball
type
over,
deal.
Yeah, put the ball.
Yeah, like just put the ball over the plate. Let's get out of this game. Maybe a little bit of that, but you know, he got squared up a couple of times there in the seventh inning.
Yes.
And so, you know, unfortunately allowed a couple of runs there, but after that shut down baseball. So, you know, a little bit of a mixed bag as far as pitching goes. You know, Schmidt looked good. Kaysen looked good on the back end. And then everything in between, there's a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. You know, it was good to see Connor Ware be able to compose himself and get, back-to-back strikeout in the inning before he exited the game. It was good to see Newt be able to work around some trouble that he got himself into.
That's right.
So, you know.
Yeah, his first inning, Newt walked two guys, but he also struck out the side. So,
yeah,
you know, that's good response, right?
And he had a clean second inning for himself.
So I mean, that was pretty much it, Zach. It was.
There's not much to talk about, honestly. It feels weird that we're just sitting here and like, oh, that's about it.
Well, it was pretty. I honestly expected a more competitive game. I think Xavier's a better team than that. Score reflects.
It was a business day, Reagan. They showed up to work. They clocked in. They did their job, and then they clocked out. And that was it.
Clocked in, clocked out. That's it.
Clocked in.
And everybody got to go home early. Production was up, so we got to go home early.
Exactly. Yeah. Slow day at the office. They got the job done and went home.
Yeah. That's a good analogy for this game. It was a good way to close the book on non-conference heading into SEC play. I think, if anything, Tanner Reeves is the biggest. Like, okay, Friday when the lineup rolls out, it's going to be Tanner Reeves. It's been Tanner Reeves the last 5-6 games.
Met the quota.
Met the quota for the day, exactly. 17 runs through 3 innings. I think that'll do.
I think that'll do.
That'll do. Anyways, so close the book on Xavier. You move towards SEC play. You like what you saw from Tanner. I'm thrilled for him. Hopefully it will be consistent. But man, he's been putting barrel to ball. When he first was starting to get runs at starting position, there were several times when, man, he just barreled up a ball, but it went straight to a player. And it was like, darn, like if he could just find a hole or, you know, get it down. And he has been lately. He really has been. Yeah. And it's been good for him. I can't remember who compared him to this, but I think it's a great comparison. He's a lot like Zach Watson, his build, his size, and just kind of sneaky power that can just rip the ball, and he's got speed. So I really like Tanner Reeves. I really do. I think eventually you're going to see Milam at some point. I think he's going to continue to be. I mean, if Tanner doesn't let up.
You mean Braswell?
Braswell. What did I say?
Milam,
my bad. Yeah, you'll see Braswell in certain spots. And if he struggles, you'll see Braswell. Braswell's been there. He's been in SEC play. started at shortstop in SEC, at two different places at South Carolina and LSU. So if there's a struggle there, Braswell will get his shot. There's no doubt about that. But for now, Tanner has solidified himself for the time being. And the lineup, you've kind of position-wise found the lineup. You found Danny Dickinson is going to be the guy to protect Jared Jones, and Derek Curiel is the easiest leadoff man of all time. And then you get to throw Milam and Pearson and Brown after that top three. The heart of your lineup, 4, 5, 6 is those three guys. You love it. And then Stanfield there at the bottom.
It's been really good.
Just flipping the lineup over, walking, singles.
You got Tanner Reeves at the top of the
bottom. And then you have Tanner Reeves finding himself. Luis Hernandez has not as flashy, but certainly has started to find himself as well. Early in the season was really struggling to find a hit, but again, last night drove in 2 runs.
He's hitting 275, something like that. I mean,
yeah. And
that's pretty good. I mean,
exactly.
if you're the 8-hole hitter and you're hitting 275, I mean, that's pretty good.
And either way, I want him in the lineup, period, to be the catcher. So I don't care at all about him being in the lineup, even if he's batting 200,
or sub 200.
Right. So, anyways, it was a good game, dominant performance. Zach, you flip the page to Mizzou. We have a few comments in there that aren't Tell Me TA. Maybe we can get to real quick before we go towards this. I think.
He just Ryan said, don't forget the time moved up to 4:30 on Friday, and the way it's looking Saturday may be a washout. Carl Dunn said Saturday's game should be good. Rain is out by game time Saturday night, hopefully.
Good deal.
So
I didn't know the game had moved up on Friday night, so I appreciate the
moved up 4:30. Which I'm a little disappointed in. A little disappointed, because your boy doesn't get off to 5 o'clock. So going to miss probably the first inning.
Rough.
Yeah.
Tough. Hey, Zach, let me give you a little stat real quick.
Okay.
Jared Jones right now is on a 12-game hitting streak. Take a stab.
He shouldn't be on a 12-game hitting streak because he had the 0 for 5.
Or excuse me, not a 12-game not a 12-game hitting streak. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got my.
He's probably on a 2-game hit streak.
Well, yes, but take a stab at his batting average right now.
Let me see if I can remember. I'm going to say
12-game win streak. Excuse me, LSU's on a 12-game win streak. Take a stab at his batting average in that streak. So through these 12 games, what is his batting
pretty positive, average? Reagan. Oh, let me see if I can remember.
And he did have an 0 for 5 game in this 12-game win streak.
Yeah. I'm going to say he's batting 456. Is that close?
It's 60 points higher. He's batting 510. He is batting 510.
Oh, my gosh.
And he had an 0 for 5 game. That's not his overall batting.
Are you talking about he's batting 510 in the
12-game win streak?
Okay. Overall, what's his overall?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's for like 4 something. It's high 4.
I think I'm thinking of the overall. I was thinking of the overall. The overall is probably 456, 448, something like that. If I can remember correctly. But I mean, yeah, it's just crazy.
I mean, he's crushing the ball right now. Okay, phone's got not gonna work right now, but all right. It's info. Anyways, he's balling out. Any other comments, Zach?
Ryan's just holding it down for us. Y'all gotta get in here. Look, we got 60 people watching live. Y'all have got to get in here and comment. We would love to get your comments. Ryan said, beginning of the season, who had Josh Pearson batting cleanup? I sure didn't.
Golly.
He said Zach, you need to take off at 4. Yeah. Does he say? He said, does Bear lead the team in stolen bases?
He is second.
He's second. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, dude.
I don't know who's first, but I think Lynn Rollins said the other night he was second. Jared Jones is batting 448 on the season.
Oh, okay. I told you it was either 448 or 456.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's overall.
Also, he's got 3 stolen bases. The number 1 is Jake Brown with 4 stolen bases. By the way, he was safe the other night. Jared Jones was safe on the base he stole the other night. and they did not challenge it because it didn't matter at that point. But he was safe.
Yeah. His left hand got in. Yeah.
He was in there. Anyways.
Yeah. Or it might have been his right hand. I know he got tagged on the stomach.
Yes. Yeah. He got around. He got around and got in there, I think. And they
batting over 500 in the last 12 games. That's crazy.
25 for 49. Wow. All right, Zach, turn the page to Mizzou. Zach, Missouri is 8-8 on the season. Again, I want to say, don't let the record fool you. Now, are they probably the worst team in the SEC? Yes, but they're still an SEC team, and the competition is going to step up. They have great talent in this lineup.
They can definitely hit the ball. That's
what I was about to say. This weekend is going to be a really, really, really good test for your pitchers and your bullpen. Yeah. Now, offensively, you may be just fine. This weekend, you're looking for the mound. How are they going to play against this lineup? Because it's a solid lineup. They bat 300 as a team. 300. That's like over 100 points higher than some of the teams you played the last couple weekends. Good lineup, a lot of offense. Unfortunately, they're where they have been lacking. For them, yeah, for us, it's a great thing. But for them, the pitching department is where they really, really struggle. I mean, their Friday night guy, I believe, has a 5.12 ERA. Not bad with the walks, but just allows a lot of hits. So this is going to be a test for your pitching staff, Zach, for sure. By far the best test that you're going to see all season to this point. So with that being said, Zach, I think expectation-wise, you always want to kind of set your expectation like it's the first weekend in SEC play. I'm at a 2-1, right? I'm at a 2-1. If we immediately think we should go 3-0, we're kind of setting ourselves up for disappointment. Because the reality is this team could come in here and steal a game. Your pitching staff struggles in one of these games. It's a good lineup. Maybe your offense isn't clicking and blowing and going like it has been these last 12 games in this 12-game win streak. And they get you.
They could have it, LSU could easily have a day like they did against Omaha, right? Yes. That's a team that's not as good
North
as
Dakota State.
Yeah, or North Dakota State. Yeah. The offense though was fine in that game.
Yeah.
But you could have if you have I'm talking about offensive, you could have an offensive day, that is like similar to Omaha, or a defensive / pitching day that is like North Dakota State, and you can get beat.
That's right. And Zach, so the focus is pitching, and so here's kind of how things line up. You're going to see your same three starters. It's going to be Cade Anderson, it's going to be Anthony Ianson, and it's going to be Chase Shores. You have the advantage day one and day two. Cade Anderson has a 2 ERA. Ian Laus has a 5.12. Cade has 11 more strikeouts. And Anthony has a 3 ERA on day two. Will Libert, this is probably their worst starting pitcher. I hate to say it that way, but he's a freshman as well. 5.4 ERA, along with 9 walks and 12 strikeouts. So he's not a big punch-out guy. Ian is definitely probably their best in terms of punch-out. He's got 26 on the season, but only 12 punch-outs for their day two guy, along with 9 walks. So hopefully that will be a good day for Anthony and a day where our offense could really get going. The biggest test, Zach, and this is what I mean. This is what I mean by you could find a game where you could lose this game. Sunday is going to be the biggest test because in terms of pitching, it is the closest matchup. Chase Shores comes in with a 3.15 ERA. Caden Drew is 2-0 on the season. He's undefeated on the season. He comes with a 3.43 ERA. Chase Shores has 7 walks on the season. Caden Drew has 7 walks on the season. The good news is Chase Shores does have the upper hand with strikeouts. He's got 22. Caden Drew has 15, but the numbers are certainly comparable. He's certainly comparable, very close between these two guys. This is one where you go, man, you really need your pitching and offense to be on its P's and Q's, because this is a guy who could come in their offense with their lineup. If Chase Shores has another day like he did against North Alabama, where it isn't his best, leaving pitches up, he's getting touched up, that they could steal this game on Sunday. Your bullpen, right? You're after Shores. You've typically used your best arms on Friday, Saturday out of the bullpen. So what does that look like? Sunday will certainly be one to watch. It's one of those games where it looks like, it could be really, really competitive, Zach. And this is what you get in the SEC. You're talking about a lineup who bats 300. It's going to be better in every competition, and this is certainly comparable stats-wise. He's technically the same age as Chase Shores, but Chase Shores obviously had the year off, so he's a sophomore. But they're both about the same age, comparable stats. Like, it's going to be, Sunday will be interesting to watch. Can we, if we have both wins, can we come in with the same mindset to come and close this series out and get the sweep? Because you need sweeps. If you go 2-1 every single weekend, that means you're 15-15. If you go 2-1 every weekend, that means you're. Excuse me.
You're 20-10.
You'd be 20-10. That'd be plenty good. But
that's plenty good.
Yeah, it'd be plenty good.
Now, if you go 2-1 when you're at home and 1-2 when you're
that's
on
right.
the road,
That's right.
yeah,
You would be 15-15.
Yeah.
That's right. And now you do kind of you want to get a sweep here and there, because you're going to drop a series, maybe on the road somewhere. You're going to drop a game against a team you weren't expecting. But yeah, if you can go 2-1 every single series, you're 20-10. And Zach, like you were saying, that you're an automatic national seed if you're 20-10 in the SEC. But it's hard to win on the road in the SEC. So when you have games like this against teams like this
at home,
you want to capitalize.
Yeah.
So a sweep would be really nice here, Zach. What are your thoughts, Zach, going into SEC play? How do you feel? What are you nervous about? What concerns you? And maybe what do you maybe not so concerned about that you really want to see continue?
What I want to see, honestly, from this weekend is I want to see the pitchers, the starting pitchers, the weekend rotation extend as far as inning. Now, we've seen them extend on pitch count, right? We've seen Anderson and Ianson and Shores all get up to over 90 pitches. The biggest thing that they've struggled with, though, is being super efficient, right? You want to be, around obviously 12 to 15 pitches per inning. That's just like perfect, right? Obviously, that's not going to happen every single time that you go out there. But if they can be more efficient, because we know that they can extend as far as pitch count goes, but if they can be more efficient inning in and inning out, then maybe we can see Cade Anderson go 7. Maybe we've seen Ianson go 7 already. Maybe we can see Ianson continue to go 7 or 8. And then maybe we can see Chase Shores finally get to the 6th inning or maybe the 7th inning, right? I'd love to see Shores get to the 6th this weekend. I would love to see Anderson get to the 7th this weekend, and I would love to see Ianson get to the 7th again this weekend or maybe the 8th. Just want to see those guys extend a little bit more as far as innings go, innings pitched go. So that's a biggie for me. I really want to see, especially, how Tanner Reeves continues to do. I know that the pitching staff from Missouri is not a great pitching staff, so maybe we see more of the same this weekend. So maybe we have to wait a little bit longer on that for Tanner Reeves, as far as seeing him go up against a really good SEC caliber pitching staff. Also, I mean, there's not much that I would say I would want to change. I mean, in the lineup, I think the lineup is, as we've said, really set. I think it's a really good lineup. As far as all the way 1 through 9, I think right now there's not anything I would change. I don't think there's absolutely anything I would change right now, which is good to say. Like, last year you're going into SEC play going, oh, I would change this. I'm not playing change this. Or they're still figuring this out. Yeah, whereas this year, it's like we're here and we're here at SEC conference play and we're going, they're good. Like, they're fine. Yeah. So let's see that continue. Let's see that continue to be consistent as far as this lineup producing with these players specifically 1 through 9. I would love to see, what it looks like this weekend. I mean, obviously it depends on the games. It depends on how the games go. If they're a lot tighter ball games, it's going to be interesting to see, who Jay really trusts. And, we have a pretty good idea of that, but who Jay goes to in critical situations, we can think of Kason Evans and Zach Cowan and Connor Benj and, maybe Gavin Guidry if you get him back this weekend, maybe. So you've got 3-4 guys that that we really trust in and that we believe Jay really trusts in. Obviously he does. But who does he go to in certain situations now that we're in SEC play? Like, who's going to be the first guy of the bullpen? If Anderson goes 6 or 7 on Friday, who's the first guy of the bullpen, right?
If you go 7 innings, it's not going to be Zach Cowan.
If you go 7 innings, it's not going to be Zach Cowan. If you go six, maybe you see Connor Benj come in and throw the 7th, and then you see Kason Evans throw the 8th and the 9th, maybe you see Connor Benj throw the 7th and the 8th, and Kason comes in on the 9th. I don't know. Depends on how close it is. Like, if it's not close, then it may be a different story.
Yeah.
I would really like, honestly, Reagan, if things are in hand, I would like LSU to save Zach Cowan for Sunday, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that would be very beneficial. Shores has not proven yet that he can get past the 5th inning, which leaves, basically half the game left.
Yeah.
For you to close out. And Zach Cowan is a guy that can come in and extend. He can give you 3 to 4 innings, right?
Yeah.
So I would love it if LSU is in a situation where they can hold Zach Cowan to Sunday. I think that extremely benefits LSU, especially if they're trying to sweep. And if, even if, he could come in if Chase does pretty good and maybe he gets touched up for 1 or 2 runs, or maybe he's pitching a shutout and then Zach Cowan can come in, whatever it may be, or the pitch count's high, and he comes in and Zach Cowan can give you some, 2 to 3 innings. Or if Chase Shores really struggles on Sunday, then you can have him. But that's ideal, right, Reagan? Yeah. It obviously could go, bad on Friday. Zach Cowan is going to be that guy that if any of the starting pitchers struggle, you're going to see.
He's your lifeguard. Yeah, he's your lifeguard.
Yes,
he's your life vest, essentially.
However you want to say it, lifeguard, life vest.
When you drown you go to him. Life vest, lifeguard.
Yes. When things go the wrong way, Zach Cowan is your let's get right guy. So ideally, you want to be able to hold him to Sunday. Because if you can have him on Sunday, then, it's best case scenario for you. So interested to see where Jay goes with, I personally, like, if Anderson gets you 6 or 7 and he goes to Zach Cowan after that, I'm not happy about it, to be honest. I would much rather.
I'd rather him go to Rizzi.
I'd rather him
on the score.
Yeah, obviously, but even if it's close, Reagan, if Anderson gets you 6 or 7, I'm throwing. This is my personal opinion. Just personal opinion. I'm not the head coach, right? Jay's the head coach for a reason, and I'm just a measly old podcaster from South Haven, Mississippi, for another reason. But if it's me, if I'm coaching the team, Reagan,
yeah,
and Anderson gives me 6 or 7 on Friday, whether it's close or whether it's not,
yeah,
I'm going Connor Benj for 1 to 2 innings, and then If it's close, you go to Case and Evans. If it's not close, you can go to whoever you want.
Sure.
Then on Tuesday, go to Ianson. And then again, depending on how it's close, maybe I think ideally you want to hold Cowan to at the least Saturday. I don't want to throw Cowan on Friday.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw Cowan on Friday. Now, again, if Cade Anderson gets roughed up, Reagan, we've said this lineup's really good, right? This Missouri lineup's good. So be wary of that, LSU fans. Cade Anderson struggled in SEC play. He's looked really good in non-conference. He did the same thing last year. So what happens if Cade Anderson doesn't get out of inning 3?
Yeah.
Or 2? Then that's a scenario where you're going, we got to throw Zach Cowan. Like we got to have an extender, right? So you don't want that, but that could be a scenario that plays out as well. Hopefully not. Hopefully that's not the case. But ideally, if you're going to ask for the perfect scenario in as far as pitching standpoint goes for the weekend, Anderson gives you 6 or 7. You go to maybe Benj for 1 or 2, and then you finish it off with Case and Evans or whoever, depending on the score. And then Saturday, a similar situation. Ianson gives you 6, 7, 8. You have somebody come in and throw an inning. Maybe that's, I don't know, Jaden Nude or
Schmidt.
Whoever. Schmidt. Yeah, William Schmidt. Thank you, Reagan. That's the other one I was thinking of. William Schmidt comes in, throws you an inning or 2, same scenario. Or if you need Kaysen to close, if you didn't use Kaysen the night before, you need Kaysen to close on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, you have Zach Cowan for whatever you need him for. Whatever you need him for. Shores struggles, you can put Zach Cowan in. Shores gets you, does pretty good, but only gets you about 5 or 6. You can put Zach Cowan in to finish the game, or get you, 2 innings, whatever it may be. So that's my viewpoint as far as pitching goes. I really hope that, it goes that way. I mean, I would love to see it go that way. And if it does, I'll be coming back on here Monday going, man, that really worked out well for LSU's pitching staff this weekend.
Yeah.
That really played out very well. Anyways, I know I'm rambling on about that, but it's something to discuss. It's something to discuss, and I think it's really important.
How does it work out?
Especially moving forward. I mean,
right.
Not just Missouri, but moving forward. I mean, Zach Cowan, Reagan, is going to be a major, major piece for this baseball team. And when you have to play him in a weekend is going to matter for this team and their outcomes in every single weekend.
No doubt. He's your most reliable. He's your most reliable. And look, I mean, realistically speaking, Zach, if you want me to be realistic, what you were presenting, Ryan, was the perfect ideal. Realistically, I think we see Cowan on Saturday.
Probably.
Most likely, I think we see him on Saturday, depending on how Friday goes. If Friday goes well, I think we see him on Saturday. I would love to see Schmidt be the first guy out of the bullpen on Sunday. He pitched 1 inning on the midweek, give him a couple days rest, and Sunday he's the guy you turn to. He's got starting experience. He can extend. I
think Connor Benj and William Schmidt are going to play very similar roles.
Right. I'm really interested to see what Schmidt does this weekend because Jay Johnson has already made it clear, hey, his days in the midweek are probably over. So I think you will see Schmidt at some point this weekend. Also, Zach, Gavin Guidry, where is he playing this weekend? Is he not? We don't know. We'll see.
That's the storyline for this weekend.
We'll certainly see there. That's a good thing. Like regardless of how you feel, because I know some of you guys in here think, maybe he should only pitch 1 inning. That's fine if that's what you think about him. Some others think that he could pitch 2-3 innings, be a middle reliever, he could extend maybe some. Regardless of what you think about Gavin Guidry and how many innings you think he should pitch or whatever, he's another arm, and he's another arm that can get outs.
He's another arm that has been proven throughout the last 2 years.
That's right. I mean, I hate to say this a lot, but I mean, it's kind of like an obvious example, but the dude closed out the College World Series for you against Florida. So biggest stage, literally literally the biggest stage in college. He pitched your finals out for that game. So, does he come in this weekend? We'll see. We'll see. With Connor Ware's struggles, and Ryan's reading my mind. With Connor Ware's struggles, you typically would think that Connor Ware would get the midweek start now that Schmidt is definitely going to be the guy on the weekend, like an important role on the weekend. Maybe Guidry, with the struggles of Ware, gets the start on the midweek. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But again, pitching is very important this weekend because you're facing a very good lineup. It's very important this weekend. This is going to be the test for your pitching staff so far this season. You faced a couple good ones in Kansas State and Nebraska. Your offense has faced good pitching in Dallas Baptist and Nebraska. Now, Dallas Baptist, obviously, it was a midweek game, but still good pitching. So, again, the pitching for Missouri isn't the best. Your offense probably has seen a little bit better than this, but it's a whole weekend, so we'll see. But your pitching, certainly, you want to see how they respond against a lineup this good. It'll be good to see because it'll be the same lineup all weekend. It's not like Frisco where you get Kansas State and then Nebraska, right? Who are decent lineups. No, it's the same lineup every weekend. I mean, Zach, you have two guys in their lineup that are pretty dangerous hitters. Caden Nicoletta is batting .422 for them. .422. Yes, you have two guys that are batting in the 440s for your team, but .422 is really stinking good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Mateo Cerna is their other pretty dangerous hitter who's batting, I think, like .325 or something like that last time I checked. But really good lineup. Really good lineup. Well, it's going to be a test for your pitching staff, and that's why it was important that we discuss, I think, how it all is going to play out. It really is. So, all right, with that being said, looking forward to LSU getting their feet wet in SEC play this weekend. I think it's a great first start test, right? Like, it's not like your football team where you're having to play Florida State and USC and Clemson right off the rip, right? Like, you can dip your toe in the water for SEC play this weekend with Missouri, and I like that. So, anyways, with that being said, looking forward to Missouri. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back, get you Tell Me TA. Right now, we got Ryan in here. We've got Ryan. Carl, I've seen you in here. Carl, you're going to send in a Tell Me TA. Tyler's probably working. I'm sure that's where Tyler is.
Yeah, if y'all are in here watching, please send us a Tell Me TA. We'd love to get to your comments.
Yeah, well, we're going to hit a quick break and send you Tell Me TA in. We'll talk. We're going to come back. We'll talk about wrapping up basketball and then a little spring football as well. We'll get to Tell Me TA. So, all right. Well, that being said, we'll get to it right back after this. 5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his other music on all the major platforms. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and at Twitter at One Nation Doty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page for all his Saints and LSU merchandise. Can't get any better than Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Her firm focuses on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Right back at it here in the Tigers Avenue. Final segment, Tell Me TA. Zach, Ryan, there's your Tell Me TA. When does William Schmidt make his weekend debut? I am going to predict that William Schmidt, Zach, as I've already said, I think he's going to be the first guy out of the bullpen on Sunday. But, Zach, what do you think? When's it coming in?
Yeah, that's a good question, Reagan. You said Sunday. I'm going to go. You said Sunday?
First guy out of the bullpen Sunday.
I'm really torn, Reagan, between Friday and Saturday. When did Connor Benj pitch last? I know he didn't pitch against Xavier.
No, he pitched last weekend against North Alabama, I believe.
Okay, so that'll decide my thought process then. So I'm gonna say Saturday. I'm gonna say he comes in on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think he's pitching Friday. A little bit too quick,
Yeah.
but he only pitched an inning, so I mean,
I'm gonna say Saturday. I think he could easily be your first guy out of the bullpen after Ianson.
Yeah.
So, and we've seen he can extend because he started in the midweek. And what did he go in his start during the midweek? Was it 5 innings?
Schmidt.
Yeah.
Schmidt, he only went 1 inning.
No. I'm not talking about this past week. This past midweek, he's had a midweek start.
Oh yeah.
He went up against Nicholls State or Nicholls
yeah.
State. North Dakota State, and he went like what 5 innings, 4 innings, something like that.
He did extend. Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
So he can extend. Will that be his role in SEC play during the weekends? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the first one out of the bullpen on Saturday. I think Benj is going to be the first one out of the bullpen on Friday. That's my thought process. Casey Evans is going to come in at the end of a game for sure. You know, whichever one is close. If Friday's close, he's going to come in. You know, and obviously he could come back. You know, depending on how many pitches he has, he could obviously come back in the weekend. You know, on like a Saturday or Sunday. I mean, probably not Saturday. If he pitches Friday night, I would imagine Casey would probably come back Sunday, depending on what his pitch count is at. He could come back Sunday, maybe for an inning or so.
Zach, Schmidt pitched 4 2/3 against Nicholls and 4 against North Dakota State. I still have hope in Connor Ware, Zach. Connor Ware pitched a great game against Dallas Baptist. I was just
he really did. I mean, he really did. I mean, against
a
top 25 team.
Good team. Yes, Ryan, I saw your comment on our break, and I wanted to address this. That's something that I forgot to address in the preview that I meant to address. And I'm glad you brought this up. Missouri is good on the base pads. They have 26 stolen bases already on the season. 26 out of 32 attempts.
And that's going to be beneficial for them where you've been lacking in at the catcher position.
How will Luis handle some pressure on the base pads? That will be certainly something to follow. And also could affect your pitching as well.
Yeah.
How does the pitcher handle the pressure of someone being on the base pads, pitching from the stretch? So I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing you're going to watch. How your catcher, where probably, yes, holy moly, 26 out of 32. It's good. And they're batting 300. This is SEC play.
They're good offensively. They're very good offensively.
So that's why I said they're 8-8.
You got to hope their pitching doesn't decide to put it together this weekend.
Man, that's again, it's SEC play. I don't care if it's Mizzou. I don't care if they're 8-8, 300 lineup with 26 stolen bags. That's good through 18 games.
Yeah, that's good.
That's pretty good. So and catcher defensively,
that's close to 2 stolen bags a game.
I mean, you defensively, you don't have really any catcher that's been elite defensively. Luis obviously is your most stable guy back there, but I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to find out. But I think they're going to put some pressure on us for sure. They're going to want to get that runner on and move him around, Zach. There's no doubt about that.
For sure.
Zach, with that being said, thoughts on the end of the basketball season and spring football?
Thank God it's over. Praise the Lord. It's over. The misery has ended, and you can move on to the offseason and hope that LSU can do something roster-wise where they can be competitive. How many guys stay? Really hope you get Victorious Miller back. Hopefully Jalen Reed decides to stay another year. He's got the eligibility.
I hope you can keep Victorious Miller.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
I
tough.
hope you hold on to Victorious Miller.
Man. He'll be a hot commodity.
Yeah, he'll be a hot commodity for sure. For sure.
Look, you're overhauling again.
You're going to be overhauling again.
You're
I mean, Damian
overhauling
Collins
again.
can come back, right? Damian Collins can come back.
He can, but you're losing Cam Carter, Jordan Sears, Jai Bailey, and Derek Fountain for sure.
Yeah, and that's 3 of your 5 starters.
Yeah,
3 of those guys are your starters.
And
Cam Carter was
another
your best player.
That's right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to load up again.
You're hitting the portal.
Corey Chess, hopefully, Jalen Reed, Corey Chess, Damian Collins, Victorious Miller come back because that's 4 really solid guys that you could have.
Robert Miller came on later in the season.
Miller. Yeah, and Robert Miller
improved. I'd love to see a year of improvement for him, what he could look like with an offseason. Curtis Givens improved. They both, Mike Williams, but man, you got to get some guys that come in and get buckets.
You got to get bucket getters for sure. You gotta get your bucket, get some bucket makers. So yeah, Reagan. Not much more to say on that. We'll see what they do in the off season. We'll see what they do recruiting wise.
You got to think that Matt McMahon feels the pressure. You got to think,
sure.
and
for sure.
The fact that they have to make an announcement. Oh yes, we are returning. We're retaining Matt McMahon. The fact that you have to make that announcement he feels the pressure.
Yeah.
But also they're saying, oh, and by the way, we're giving you more NIL support. So that you got to deliver. It's got to be better. It's got to be better. The excuses are up, right? The excuses are up. It's been several years. There's no more violations. There's no more restrictions. Here's more money.
And hopefully you can stay healthy next year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Outside of that, Reagan, girls await their destination for the NCAA tournament and seeding. Looking like it's going to be a 2 or a 3 seed for LSU. I really think they deserve a 2 seed, to be honest with you. Only losses were to really good ranked teams on the road. And then the other losses, you didn't have players.
Yeah.
You had 2 losses to really good ranked teams on the road. 3 losses to really good ranked teams on the road. And then you had 2 losses, 1 at home and 1 in the SC tournament, where you didn't have all your players. You didn't have your best players fully healthy. So, hopefully the committee sees that. I think they're very well deserving of a 2 seed. They might end up getting a 3 seed. We'll see. And then I'm trying to remember the region that Kim was thinking. Hold on one sec. I'm trying to look at the regions real quick. There's Birmingham, Spokane. Looks like, from what Kim is saying, looks like Spokane could be the destination for LSU. In fact, LSU is, per ESPN, is predicted to be a 3 seed in the Spokane region. So that would match them against UCLA as the number 1 seed and Notre Dame as the 2 seed. So, and per this prediction as well, they'd be facing Oregon State at home in Baton Rouge, and then Florida State would be playing either Washington or Harvard per this ESPN predictolator. So if LSU beats Oregon State, they would be playing one of potentially Florida State, Washington, Harvard. This is completely prediction based, right? This is not set in stone. The other side of the Spokane is USC. Oh, brother. Yeah. That'd be rough.
Nice.
Yeah. Birmingham wouldn't get any easier if you got put in the Birmingham region, because South Carolina is predicted to be there. Texas is predicted to be there. UConn's predicted to be in there. TCU. I mean,
yeah.
So it's looking like LSU's going to Spokane, which, I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That may change. I mean, either way, it's brutal. You want to play USC?
This is March.
That's the way it is. Do you want to play USC or UCLA, or do you want to play, like Texas, South Carolina? Which one?
Golly. I'd like to take my chances against a Big Ten team. That would be my USC and UCLA. If I had to choose, I would go away from the Gamecocks and the Longhorns. That'd be my choice.
Yep. So yeah, and the Big Ten is looking like they're going to have a pretty good showing there in the women's tournament. Potentially 12 teams that make it in. SEC probably going to have 10. So looking forward to Sunday to figure out where LSU lands. If let me say this real quick, if LSU were to get the 2 seed, let me do that real quick. If LSU were to get the 2 seed, let me pull it back up. I'm sorry. They would be facing potentially facing Lehigh and paired up with Oklahoma State versus Nebraska. Again, all this is prediction. So, anyways, moving on from women's basketball, that we'll see what happens on Sunday. LSU baseball this weekend. The selection committee will make their announcement, obviously, on Sunday for women's basketball. But Reagan, outside of that, LSU football's got things going in the spring. Yeah. So you can go to YouTube and just about anywhere find.
There's lots of highlights around.
Find some footage of LSU football and their practices. Was cool today watching spring practice from tigerbait.com, and we had a Blake Ruffino sighting, AYS, there in the video. I had to be sure to hit him up about that. And anyways, looks pretty good. I mean, right now, nothing's going to like pop at you, but
nothing's set in stone.
I know a lot of people made a big deal about Braylon Moore, going, repping with the 2s, but Brian Kelly came out and was like, look, no, it does not matter. I promise. Like, there's no 1s and 2s right now. Like, they're just practicing. Yeah. But you also have what's interesting, right? Because, obviously Colin Hurley had the accident and he has been away.
Yeah.
So Jawan Johnson has been at the quarterback position as the 3rd string behind Garrett Nussmeier and Michael Van Buren. And from everything I've seen and heard, Michael Van Buren looks really good.
I'm going to tell you what, Zach. With some weapons that LSU has, when Garrett Nussmeier moves on, I think he's going to be a lot of fun at LSU. I think he can have a great career at LSU. If he can take a red shirt, it'd be nice. It would be really, really awesome if he could take a red shirt this year. That would be fantastic.
He seems like the heir apparent. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he will take a red shirt. I would love for him to.
He definitely could, Reagan. I mean, if Nussmeier stays healthy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If Nussmeier stays healthy, I think you could very easily, because you're going to have, the non-conference games where it'll be a blowout and, but you're really only going to have like what, 4 of those, right? Because you're playing Clemson. You're playing 8 conference games, and then you're playing 4 non-conference games. One of those non-conference games is Clemson. So
you have 3 non-power 5.
Yeah. So I mean, it very easily could take a red shirt if Nussmeier stays healthy.
Yeah. Zach, what's been impressive, what's jumping off the page immediately for everybody is the weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why you were so excited.
Hilton, Aaron Anderson, Nick Anderson, Barron
Brown. And
Barry looks really good in the spring practice so far.
He does. Yeah. He can fly, man. He can fly. I'm excited. Bauer Sharp looks good.
Showed already. Up, TT.
What up, TT? I said earlier in the show, Tyler, you're probably at work. That's what I said.
Yeah.
All right.
Looking for you, bud.
Hey, you're in here. You made it. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Although it's the end of the show. But Zach, spring football is on its way. Y'all be looking out for some highlights. That's what I'm gonna do here in just a little bit. I'm probably gonna go watch some highlights from spring practice.
I didn't even mention Xavier Thomas.
Yeah, Xavier Thomas. It's a lot, Zach. It's a lot of time.
Al Parker's back from injury. Yeah. You got Destin Hill. Yeah. I mean, you're loaded at receiver. I mean,
Destin Hill too. Golly, you want some guys maybe to take a red shirt this year.
You're like 3 deep at receiver, and it's like really good talent. It's crazy.
And you got size with Nick Anderson, man.
Yeah.
They did great in the portal. They really did.
They did.
Mansour Delane and
Keem Jackson,
already
Marcus Cooley, they look good.
out there getting reps too.
BJ Pickett.
You love it, man. You love it. It's just so far away. That's what aggravates me is like when they start putting pads on, they start going out there repping. I'm like, God, let's go. But I'm like, geez, it's forever away though.
BJ said, if you can't run the ball, it won't matter.
Hey, Caden Durham ain't going nowhere, brother.
Yeah.
Caden Durham ain't going nowhere.
You got to get the offensive line together. I think that's everybody's biggest concern. We'll see how that shapes up here in the spring. And then
I'm pretty excited about the offensive line. I'm pretty excited about it.
Reagan, we got to try to get to the spring game. We got to try to. I want to go to the spring game, honestly.
Okay.
I would love to go to the LSU spring game. Maybe we can see some of our viewers here. That'd be awesome.
That's right. All right. Appreciate y'all being in here. Tyler, even though you're late, we appreciate you being here.
It's all good. You can just scroll back and watch.
That's right. Ryan, appreciate you being here again as well. As always, it's a great show. Looking forward to LSU taking on some SEC competition this weekend at the box. I'm excited about it. It'll be good for our pitching staff to face. So we'll be back here in the Tigers Avenue show to recap all these things, talk more about it. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating a 3-game sweep come next week.
Reagan, does LSU sweep or do they get 2?
I'm going to say they sweep.
Okay. I was hoping you say 2 because then I would say sweep. So I'll go with 2.
Okay. Go Tigers. Ryan, my guy. Ryan, my guy. Ryan, put it up there. That's a lion, my guy.
You got to get the tiger.
There is a tiger emoji. Ryan.
We're giving Ryan a hard time. Ryan, we got off the show last on Monday. We're like, we got to tell Ryan. He keeps putting a lion in there.
It's a lion, my guy.
We're not lions. We're tigers, bro.
Wait, there is a tiger emoji, and it's yellow too.
Yeah, it is yellow. Tyler says we're sweeping.
Sweep it, man. There it is. There you go. That's more like a Missouri tiger. No cap. It's yellow and black.
Yeah.
He said, my bad. Appreciate you, Ryan. Appreciate you, Tyler. Hey, for all you guys listening, not comment, we appreciate you guys as well. Keep coming. Keep listening. Maybe next time, throw your comments in there. As always, we'll see you next time here in the Tigers Avenue show. So here, take us out. Peace.